Welcome to the Get Real Sisters podcast. We're sisters, each other's biggest supporter and confidant. We keep it real with each other, just like we're going to keep it real with you, with discussions about life, the good, the bad, and in between. We're here to grow and get real. So don't forget to subscribe and share. Let's go.
What up, y'all? What up? What up?
What's up, guys?
It's your girls from the Get Real Sisters podcast. I'm Jazz.
I'm Shanice. You almost forgot the name of our podcast, girl. I know it's only month two.
No, that's not what happened. I was being nosy watching the birds walk by. Fly by. Super excited. We're hitting you with our second topic, second month. Shanice, what we got for them?
Well, this month we are talking about love languages. I think it's super relevant, and even though when we talk love languages, or if you've heard about love languages, it's usually having to do with your partner, but I think it can apply to really any relationship that you have in your life. So, Jasmine, I know you being a certified self-love coach, you may be more of the expert on me as far as what these love languages are. I've definitely heard of them. I think I know which one I may be, but can you tell everybody what these love languages are?
Yeah, no doubt. And you're right, is that I definitely dig into these, and with love language. Well, we'll talk about, benefits down down the show here. But it circles to, it's all related to self-love as well, right? Getting to know yourself. That way you can show up in other people's worlds and lives and help, mesh together and build your relationship. So as mentioned, there's 5 love languages. They are, the first one, words of affirmation, quality time, physical touch, receiving gifts, and acts of service. To kind of run through what each of them are individually. So the words of affirmation, kind of self-explanatory, I think, but maybe not for everyone. It's where you genuinely like those positive words of, kind of for reassurance. So I'm like, Shanice, you are so beautiful, right? That might make you feel really good and loved,
Oh,
right?
thank you.
You know that, girl. You're beautiful. Quality time, right? You're spending like basically undivided, what's it?
Like not distracted, undistracted doesn't sound like it's a real word.
Right.
But
You know what we're saying?
yeah.
Just not distracted, and spending that intimate moment with one another. Physical touch, come on with the touch. Come on, we all love a little touch, I think. Receiving gifts, of course, physically being able to provide a gift, so material items. And then acts of service. This can actually be a range of things. You might think of it of like volunteering, but it's a way of you basically doing a task to help. Help either yourself or, help. Come on, sirens trying to play me on the balcony. Acts of service of like taking on a task to reduce a burden or stress level for your partner.
Okay, so I mean, based on that, these can be either how you like to show love or how you like to receive love. Would that be fair to say?
Correct. For the most part, though, it is how, like, if you were like what we're talking about today, your love language, right? It's what you prefer and what makes you, basically out of these 5, what makes you feel the most loved.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I mean,
yes.
if I had to pick out of the 5, I feel like for me, it would be quality time. I really tend to enjoy like spending quality time with people, even though I'm definitely like, I mean, you know me, I can definitely be alone for a long time. But when I am with people, I like to, I like to talk. I like to have deep conversations. I like to, I am guilty of not taking pictures a whole lot. Like I know we're in a social media world or, everything's caught on camera and it's so great to be able to look back on those memories, but I feel like to be so in depth in quality time is where you're present and you're not worried about
For
pulling up
sure.
your camera to capture everything because you're just ingraining those memories into your brain.
No
So
doubt.
I would say that for me. What do you think you are, or if you
You know,
know?
oh, I do know. I do. I'm confident in, not only do I know because of just knowing, but I've also taken a couple of quizzes. You know, you're a love
Uh,
little quiz online, okay? Um, so and it's so funny because I've done it with doing it a couple times. Every single time, it's I don't want to say it's the exact same thing, but also, excuse me, we should have mentioned so out of these five, you may have bits and pieces of every single one,
yeah,
right? But there's going to be that primary one, the one that kind of shines out. And so why I say that is every time I've done the test, same for me is quality time. My primary is quality time, but it actually is only like 4 or 5% higher than physical touch for me. And then the other three kind of trickle out. Um,
I could see that you're a little touchy feely.
I am certainly touchy-feely. I'm like, girl, come on, give me a look. And it's so funny though, because I was actually having this conversation, talk about physical touch. Um, I do love touch, but I'm so weird. I don't know if you are too, so weird. Well, I know you are with hugs.
I mean, yeah, definitely with hugs. I feel like I'm getting better, but it
Not with me. No,
I'm the total opposite with physical touch. Physical touch kind of,
annoys you.
not that it annoys me, but I tense up usually. Like
Mm,
um and maybe this is a whole nother topic or a whole nother podcast, but I feel like physical touch for me, not that I can't accept it, especially from, Tidy, my husband, whatever. Um, but it's not as comfortable for me, and I'm not usually the one to initiate physical
mm.
touch. I don't need it to feel loved. So, um, yeah, I'm still weird about it. And people
I
notice it sometimes because I just like freeze or like act all awkward when it's happening, and I'm like, my bad.
like, oops, sorry. I hear it. Yeah. So the with the love language, I don't want to say I like live and die by love languages, but again, I truly think it is extremely important for again you not only to know your love language but your partners. But again, it doesn't have to just be your partners. It's just relationships in general of being able to acknowledge, okay, oh, my best friend, her love language is gifts, right? And it's like you can as stated, one of the major benefits of knowing love languages or really like doing some research on it is to build a stronger relationship. And what's more beautiful than that,
Yeah,
right?
that's true. Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of benefits for knowing somebody's love language and knowing yourself. Like that's important always. Um,
Yeah, actually, you say that. I recently, maybe when I say recent or the other days, maybe not that recent, but I was reading this article. Um, hold on, what was it? It was on health.com. We'll actually put it in the little bio so you guys can tap into it. I have it saved somewhere, so I'll share that. But it goes into depth about the five love languages, what each one is, but also the benefits specifically, beyond again building the stronger relationships. And if I'm not mistaken, there was five. So bear with me because I'll try to remember them all. Um, I know the first one. The first one was creates intimacy. Come on, come on, a little intimate. Um, which I mean, I think we all know what that means, but um,
I can't assume that people know what everything means.
this is true. That's true. So okay, creating the intimacy. So being able to talk it through and understand your partner emotionally, and make sure that they are emotionally their love is being met. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
You can build the intimacy within your relationship. Um, simply because you're in that moment or within this, you're learning how to communicate better and connect with one another,
got it. Yeah.
right? I know another one was improves self-regulation, which this one you might like scratch your head a little bit because I certainly did.
Like self-regulation, go to the bathroom.
Right. Go to the bathroom before you boo boo on yourself. Uh, for this one, it really is where you have to the benefit here. Like, think about it. You're literally pause, breathe, stop, and you're considering the feelings and the emotions of yourself, but really is that you are considering the needs of your partner first. Or maybe not even first. It could just be
Yeah.
in
I was about to say, I got a bone to pick with that because I feel like so many, podcasts I listen to, books that I've read, it's like, you should be putting yourself first. So, I mean, I
agree.
totally get you want to definitely consider your partner or whoever's important to you, their feelings as well, maybe before you act.
Yeah,
But first, I don't know about that.
I would agree. I would agree. There was moments where you should, I think. But yeah, so when you like are stopping to consider and just let's just say their needs, not first or second or whatever the case, just
Mhm.
their needs, that requires you to manage your emotions and feelings.
Mm, that's true. Yeah.
You know. Um, and then overall just satisfaction, like relationship satisfaction. Right? Again, when anybody, all of us, if we are told how you feel, or excuse me, how like like you, like if you were like Jasmine, like you make me feel like just so great to be around you, and I love you.
Mhm.
That naturally, like, I mean, you're crazy if you tell me no, but like that makes you feel really good and instantly made my day. I'm happy,
Right.
right? So, and then I'm gonna look at you and be like, "That's my girl." That you know what?
Yeah, I mean, everybody, every day you want to be able to feel good and happy with the relationships that you surround yourself with. So why not try to understand yourself a little bit better or those around you, especially if you may be with someone or constantly around someone that may have a totally opposite outlook
Mhm.
on life, a totally different love language. So finding those little ways to make that other person smile is the name of the game. So,
Yes, yeah, absolutely. With the love languages and exploring, understanding, managing, and all that stuff, your empathy is surrounded around that, right? Is you are able to again understand where your partner or again friendship or whatever is coming from.
mhm.
And it's known, it's seen when you're doing like again when you understand the love language piece. And then the last one, just shocker, right? Because this podcast is about communication, but it will strengthen your communication.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, empathy is such a strong part of my actual real job. Like we literally say it all the time. We train our new associates to empathize because in any aspect of your life, not even just your love language, understanding where people are, whether you can relate, whether you've been there before, whether you've experienced the same emotions, you can still at least meet them where they're at. There's actually this it's an awesome video, even though I cry almost every single time. That I watch it by Brene Brown. There's like this little skit. If I can find it, I'll also link it in the show notes, just like this article that we'll link. But it's such a cute animated video. It's super quick. I think it's maybe 5 minutes. But Brene Brown, if you don't know about her, you better learn about her because she is killer. But it really highlights what empathy means versus sympathy, which are two
Mm,
different things. And sympathy is like you feel kind of sorry for that person, pity them in some kind of sense. But empathy is really just, getting down to whatever level that person is and still letting them feel how they feel, and you almost giving them a hug, even if it's, if you're like me and physical touch isn't your thing, giving them almost like that virtual hug or, that mental physiological hug. So
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. You know what's interesting about this is, personally, I think I'm still working through this. Like, I'm not super
Mm,
confident on what my love language is. Like, I think it is definitely quality time because that's where I feel like the most love, but I can definitely see each and every one of these maybe acts of service. So, I might be interested in revisiting a quiz to figure out exactly where I'm at. I definitely think tidy is a physical touch.
really?
Yeah, I think so. Would you say that? Would you agree? Or no?
I don't know, girl. No, I'm just kidding. I
Well,
maybe. I'm
like
like he better not touch me. No, I'm just kidding.
not you,
I
but like
honestly, I guess it's maybe in relation in like your marriage, he is a physical touch. I think in general, I don't see him that way. Because he's awkward with the damn hugs. Uh,
true. So maybe and that's an interesting point too. Like maybe it can be different on different levels.
yeah,
Like in a relationship, maybe your love language is a certain one of these, and then with other people, it's something else. So
yeah.
I think in our relationship, it would be physical touch. Like he's definitely the more affectionate one, and I feel like I have to end up try really, really hard to meet him in the middle. Like, even if it's
Mm,
just like rubbing his head or rubbing his back or something like that,
right.
because I'm just so distant from that
Sure.
kind of love. Um, if a love language, if I could create a love language, mine would be food. I
That is
like to
receiving
show,
gifts. No, I'm just kidding.
is it? Would it?
No, I don't know. Maybe.
Because I
Could
like
it?
to cook for people to show that I love them and I really enjoy seeing people eat my food and that they like it.
So maybe that is acts of service though. You're
Hmm,
doing a task.
interesting. All right, so maybe I'm a mixed bag.
I
I
I know
don't.
you're all over the place.
I'm. Welcome to my brain. But yeah, I definitely think we have different love languages. So maybe when we
Have
tap
him
into
do a
what's the
quiz too.
word,
Oh,
what's the word? Maybe there will be an activity that we can really dive into. Like yeah. Now that you brought up that you think Tidy's might be different than what I think his is, we might have to find out.
yeah,
Because
and you know,
as long as we've been together, there's always room for growth. There's always
right.
ways you can build on your communication and get stronger and stronger. Because our communication is not perfect. I'll be real, real, real about that.
Come
We
on,
are not
real.
this perfect little happy. I mean, we are happy, but it's just not all the time, 100% that way.
Naturally,
And this
every
might be
relationship.
something we can really, really improve upon with this.
You know, and maybe not, but I was just thinking of like a couple of men just in our lives and pockets. And I'm like, I actually like thinking of these five love languages. Is it just guys that it's like seems to be a gray area of where they fall in? Because I'm like, wait a minute, like
Not
dad, what
sure.
do you think's dad is?
Dad, mm, because he definitely shows affection to us, but man,
Right? Right? I'm gonna say
I
I'm
kind of feel
gonna
like
find.
he might be a quality time person.
Okay, okay. I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Dad, when
Right.
you see this,
Get in the
you about
comments.
to
Okay.
get in the comments. Tell us if you know
Okay.
what
Actually, all the men out there, we need you in the comments and let us
we
know.
need to figure some things out because yeah, I could definitely see because I think in general men they tend I mean, and it's not all. We're not gonna like throw everybody in the same bucket, but I feel like a lot of men have more of a difficult time showing their emotions or showing
Mhm.
how like they love. So it's like those little nuances that you kind of have to figure out on your own.
Right,
So
right.
help your girl out. But try and use some water. Um, but yeah, I think that's really interesting too to like think of if
Right?
okay, let me back up and think about the people that I know around me and what I
Mhm.
think. And I think women probably would be the more definite ones you may know or have a strong inclination versus the men in your life.
Right.
What do you guys think? Like definitely let us know in the comments. Like can you for sure know what your partner's is or men versus women? What do you think?
No, I think it's definitely interesting and to hear, to see what you guys have to say. And you said it, I think, perfectly. Is really like as women, the majority of us, emotion galore, right? So it make sense. It does. We just naturally show what it is or how we feel. And again, men don't necessarily, many men or some men don't show it as often. So like unless you know them on a regular basis and talking and communicating. Um, hmm, I like it, I like it. Um,
Some stuff. Well, I think this podcast was super educational for me too. Like, I
mm,
definitely appreciate your expertise as a self-love coach because, like I said, I've heard of these, but I didn't necessarily know like certain examples, especially the act of service one. Like, I was just thinking volunteer work, but not thinking about the fact of that could be you enjoying someone helping you with the task, which is really cool. So I definitely appreciate your the article that you shared. So be on the lookout in our show notes to be able to read more if you want to know more about that particular article and what health.com had to say about these love languages. Um I don't know. I feel like you anything else you want to add to this particular topic? I feel like
Tap
this is
into it, okay? Learn it. um, I am super excited though, just to um, chat with you guys on the live. Let's get that conversation flowing. Um,
we got a
share.
surprise for you.
Come on, surprises. We love surprises.
Yeah, don't forget. So one, what's the word? What's the word is coming out next Wednesday. So definitely make sure you're subscribing and sharing this so you don't miss those notifications. Super, super important if you don't want to miss out. Of course, yes, it helps us build our community, but it also helps you so you can stay in the know. If you guys really enjoy this, liking, sharing, writing comments, reviews, whatever you feel like you can do to show some love and share some love, we appreciate it. Um, like I said, what's the word's gonna come to you next Wednesday. We're gonna have a brand new activity, something that you can actually put into practice until we come back for the live on the third Tuesday of the month. I don't got
Yep,
a calendar in front of me.
I got you. It's the 20th.
The 20th. So on the 20th, we're gonna be coming back live and our surprise. We are gonna have a special guest. So to be able to figure out who that special guest is and what extra benefits and conversation that we can have with that special guest, you need to tune in.
Yes, yes, yes. We look forward to seeing you, hearing from you. But until then, peace and hair grease.
It's been real, y'all. Bye.
Bye.